Everybody smoke pure, nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. GRAMBO grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step, you can rock out the negativity. Cannabis vibes up in here. GRAMBO grows, rhymes up in here. Grow, vibe, reunite.
Yo, nothing but good vibes up in here. GRAMBO grows. That theme song says it all. Cannabis vibe. He really nailed it with that one. We're talking knowledge on GRAMBO grows. Talking about shit and how plants grow. Let's go from seed to cure. We always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. Yeah. It's a jammer. It's a fucking jammer. What's up, GramFam? What up, GramBorg? Shout out to the Borg members, Witches of Coos, Jill Sorbello. I don't know why I feel like I have to put a little something on there. Fontucky, Caniforia, Cortez the Conqueror. What's up, everybody? L420 DGC. You know, this is my man right here. This man showed up wearing a GRAMBO Grows shirt to the DGC Cup. He is forever my man. So yeah, shout out to all of the homies up in here. What up, sicko? Did my beard yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it's all burning together. Got some bugs white lava looking hell. Yeah. What up? What up, everybody? I'm feeling oh man, I'm back at it. What are you guys smoking on? Telling you, some of you guys heard my stories through Dude Grows, some of you haven't. You might notice I have been gone for a while. So yeah, I gotta get ripped. I'm on a lot of edibles. My buddy, my good buddy, Turpicana Kyle. He showed up to the Jug Den over at Jug Dealers. He showed up and hung out, him and Tops, and he hooked me up with 1,500 milligrams of edibles. That was on Tuesday, and them shits is gone. I'm telling you, GramFam, it's been tough. So what are you guys smoking on? I'm eating on these cupcake flavored edibles in here. Mr. Nugs a lot. Got that white. That's some old school. That white OG in the Cindy 99. Remember when that Cindy 99 was all the rage? Yeah, I'm smoking on something. I have a question for you guys, everyone watching. Will you smoke with me? How ridiculous is this box? All right, they put the gram of fine cannabis dabs in this weird wedding box. That's the era we live in. So yeah, I'm smoking some stuff, some upside down frown. It's something I picked up in California, but that's not all I picked up in California. I've been sick as hell. I've been so sick, you guys. I got so sick in California. It was so stupid. I don't know if I got a cold and like something happened and like it just all hit me after swimming. But I don't know, man. I think I got the Malibu flu. We went out swimming. We went to Malibu, you know, in honor of Lebowski. We had a very Lebowski trip when we were out in California, out in LA. We went to the Rock and Roll Ralph's that he famously bought the milk in the first scene. And so yeah, man, it's been 10 days now, and I'm really not all that better yet. I'm better in some ways, but I'm like worse in other ways. And so yeah, I go swimming out in Malibu. I was the only one that went swimming. Dude went swimming over in an other non-adjacent part, and then I was like jealous. I was like, oh, if I get another chance to swim, I'm going out there. So we stopped in Malibu. All right, I'll swim. So then we go to the comedy store. We went and saw Bobby Lee and Annie Letterman and Mark, a couple other badass comedians at the comedy store. And so I was feeling like crap immediately after. You know me, I never have a drink, but I'm feeling so crappy. I was like, yeah, and it's a 2-drink minimum at the goddamn Comedy Store. So what are you gonna do? Like, what are you drinking? It's like a water and a vodka Red Bull, I guess. Yo, what up, Chad Westport? Always live with Chad Westport. Go check out Chad Westport on YouTube. That guy is the man. So I'm having a couple drinks, and so I'm feeling saucy and talkative. And so the comedian is like, "Yeah, anybody?" It was 118 that day, I believe, when we were in Malibu. So of course I want to go swimming. So the comedian is Annie Letterman. She's like, "Oh, it's so hot today. Did anyone go swimming to break the heat?" And I'm drunk. I'm like, "I want to swim." And she's like, "Oh, cool. Where'd you go swimming?" I was like, "Malibu." And she's like, "Oh, so you swam in the shit? Do you feel okay?" And I was like, I don't feel okay. And so then I get back to Colorado and I'm hanging over at the Jug Den with the Jug Dealers guys, and they travel all over the place. And I'm telling them I went swimming in Malibu, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's got that big septic line out there. That's probably why you're sick." I'm like, why does everybody know now, but no one knew then? Why does everyone know all about the Malibu flu now, but no one knew before old Graham Busy got busy in the ocean. Graham Busy got busy in the ocean. What the hell? So yeah, I was very, very, very much. You know it's live up in here. Let me send that link over to my guest tonight. We got so I'm bummed out. My guest tonight relates to my sickness. I got Mama Kush from Home Grow the Community, and hung out. Been so awesome. Hung out with them several times on their show. Had the whole crew on my show over here. It's been great. Couldn't wait to get to California. Gonna hang out with Mama and Papa Kush, and then I was too sick to go. So she was nice enough to come, and we're going to talk about what went down. So we went to the Growers Gauntlet in Los Angeles, thrown by the AC Infinity. And so it was the homie, ICANN THC. It was the whole stash crew. It was Cannabis Live TV Rob. It was Pigeons 420. It was Mr. Grow It. You know, it was an elite group. I was so stoked. I ran into a couple. I ran into the from the Stash guys and Matt at the Comedy Store when I was still just holding on by a thread at that point. And so I was really bummed out that I didn't get to meet them in real life. So I want to hear all about what I didn't get to experience. And just before it gets to that, so that's why I was gone last week. And let me get her in here, and then we'll bring her up. And now I would be remiss if I didn't I teased the last time I was on here. I was like, "Hey, I met a girl at the DGC Cup, and like she's flying in, and we're having like a romantic getaway weekend." It was an insane thing to think that could have worked. You know, we meet, fireworks at the Cup, but I'm like, I'm very professional. I'm not hitting on a pretty girl at the Cup. I'm going and doing my thing. She ends up hitting me up on Instagram. She comes, and it went great. It was amazing. So yeah, the Kansas cutie is now in my life. So you guys can stop sending me messages. I kept screenshotting and sending you guys' Instagram messages about her. Hey man, you talked about that chick. What happened? Everything was great, and we are together, and it's great. So there's a lot of positivity. I'm sick, but emotionally I'm happy. I'm sick to the body, happy with the heart. And you know who knows about that? Someone who has an amazing relationship. I'm jealous of their relationship. I hope I can have a relationship as powerful as what's going on up in there in Canada. Let's bring her in.
Hi. Happy Sunday. Yeah. Happy Sunday. How you doing?
Sunday. As much as it doesn't feel like a Sunday. Oh, right. Look at the Captain Obvious. It was a gromance.
That's so sweet. Hashtag get Grambo a girlfriend worked.
It worked. Remember that? You remember that?
I do.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to send this to her and be like, because she didn't believe me. I was like, I swore off the hose. No more hose.
Yeah.
Deleting the apps. I'm not going down the hoe road anymore. And I was like, until I find a good girl, I'm doing this right. And I think I met a good one. She lives in Kansas. Her brother is a awesome DGC and brought her all the way out to the Cup. And
Oh, wow.
it worked, Mama Kush. I give you the props on that.
I'll
I
take
don't know
it.
what you did, but thank you.
I'll take it.
I needed it.
I'll
I was
take it.
lonely.
No
Now
host streets for you. No more. You gotta be looking for that good girl.
from the streets they came, and from the streets they shall remain.
Well, she can be from the streets, because you want a little something in the, behind closed doors, right? But
she's
she
a
has to be
wild child.
presentable.
We sat talking about it while we're sitting there. I was like, now that we're together and this is like worked out, this weekend's been great. We can both admit to each other, this was insane.
Right.
To not meet someone and be like, yeah, come fly in for the weekend and we'll just meet cold, and just to trust that the chemistry was real. It was insane. But I'm insane, Mama.
It's
Kush.
true though. Like, having that human connection is powerful. Like, the hormones and all the things going on in our brains, right? It's not meant for computer screens.
I got hormones, Mama Kush.
Why does you pooping remind you of me? I have to ask you about that. That was not nice. I don't want to remind Grambo of pooping. You're like, I got sick, so that reminds me of our guest.
No, because it's not that I swam in poo that reminds me of you. It's that literally, you guys flew in from Canada to LA. We flew in from Denver. This is like the whole reason I got on an airplane. We had our DGC hangout, and that was awesome. It was so cool to see everyone. And that was the whole reason we flew there. And then the fact that an hour before, I'm like laying on the couch and dude came up. He's like, dude, you don't gotta go if you don't feel it. And I didn't know. I was like, this could be airborne. I think it's the water, but I couldn't risk getting everyone. I'll go drink. Like, I don't drink for the first time in probably 8 years. There's a 2-drink minimum at the Comedy Store. I feel sick, and they're like, all right, give me some booze. So that was my move. I would have been drinking those Miller Lights. What was up with the Miller Lights? Why was everyone drinking Miller Lights?
That's all they had. It was free beer, right? So, I mean, you're not complaining, but right? But they had the coolers in the back and everything, and the pizzas. Oh, my goodness. The pizza boxes were taller than me. Oh, my goodness. I kept looking up.
There's essentially a pizza per person. There was like 100 people and 100 pizzas.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And at the end of the night, like pigeons and Northern Scrogger all walking around. Anybody want a pizza? Anybody want a pizza? Anybody?
That's hilarious. I could have gone for a pizza. I'm telling you, I was so bummed out. So that, not that the poo reminds me of you, but the irony of I had met almost everyone there that I wanted to meet. I'd met at some point. I'd run into them somewhere in life, somewhere out there. And then Pigeons and Rob I ran into in line at the Comedy Store. Holy crap, what are you guys doing here? Oh, it's so awesome. And so it was I met everybody but you and Papa Kush. So I was and Mr. Grow It. I didn't get to meet him yet, but I'll meet him someday. But you're up there in Canada. That's like an ocean away or something.
No, it's the same ocean. It's the same. It's the same.
I'm from America. We don't know that.
The ocean's
Canada's next to Ireland, right? It's part of Ireland.
Yeah, I can see Alaska.
We had Shane from Migro on, who's from Ireland, and just watching Scott just try to comprehend. He's literally like, so it's not the UK. It's like, no, it's not but it's attached. Well, it's an island. It's not attached. No. Go to Canada, you have the Queen. What? It's hilarious.
King now. It's the king now.
But now I already asked the chat, but now I have to ask you, Mama Kush, will you smoke with me?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Isn't that hilarious? This gram, that's how they justify charging you $70 a gram.
Right. Well, when we were down in California, I couldn't bring any of my homegrown. We're crossing the border, right? So I had to dispensary the whole thing. But luckily, our hotel had a dispensary right across the street. It was wonderful. And
tell me about this. What was this hotel like?
The hotel was beautiful. It was actually the old LA subway station back in the day, and it was in And then they redid the whole thing, and it was like really modern, but throwback. Like there was like a rotary phone in our room that actually worked, right? Like you call down to the front desk and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool, really cool. But everything was like outdated.
Maybe they thought you were from Canada and that's what you guys use. I give her a rotary phone. I think
well, actually, the hotel, it was pretty neat. We were coming down. We were just going to go out for a smoke, and I ran into this woman in this beautiful gown in the elevator coming down. And I'm like, oh, you look breathtaking. You're so beautiful. I said, are you going to a wedding or something? She's like, oh no, I'm going to the Emmys. What? What do you mean you're going to the Emmys? And she's like, yeah, there's a bunch of us staying. Yeah, there's a bunch of us staying at this hotel. So you're going to see us. And sure enough, when the elevator opens up, there's all these tuxes and gowns and bouffant hairdos. And I was just like, what is going on right now? And I found out that the Emmys were like a block away. They were just like a block away. Yeah. Yeah. And then on my And on my plane ride home, we were in three. It was like a set of 3 seats, right? So there was Mama, Papa, and then this other lady, and I'm chatting with her, of course, because this is what I do. And she says, "Oh, I just came into LA for the weekend," and just jokingly, I'm like, "Oh, were you here for the Emmys?" She's like, "Actually, yeah, I was." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, then if I find out her husband was up for an Emmy nomination for cinematographer for Survivor.
Hey. Whoa.
Yeah. And like, so does he like travel to Fiji and stuff? She's like, oh yeah, he's been doing that for years. So yeah, it was like a weird little side thing they had going on in Hollywood there that, yeah, the Emmys were on. Who knew?
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, to some people, you were at the Weed Emmys.
I was at the Weed Emmys, and I was fangirling so hard. Oh my goodness. I met everybody but Grambo. I was very disappointed. I was like, where's Grambo? Where's Grambo? You see everybody, see the dude coming up. I see Scotty coming up, Banner. Where's Grambo? And then dude's like, yeah, he's sick.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was literally like, I was like hell bent. There's like, I'm not missing it. And then we went to Venice and I'm just with them, So now I'm just walking through the streets of Venice. And I'm so high. I took so much edibles. And for a guy like me who's played too much Grand Theft Auto 5, LA was just like,
oh, yeah.
This dispensary where CJ got too high in that opening scene, like dispensary. You're the one, man. The guy's just like, you want to buy something? Get out.
Well, we actually did a live in our the dispensary that was across from the hotel, and Papa went in and made sure it was okay, right? Make sure, like, we're going to be filming or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, no problem. Just show security's face." Okay, cool. So we went and did this live. Oh my goodness! So it was right before the party was about to start. So a couple hours before the party starts, and I was walking through and I see this beautiful package and it says hangover, right? So Canix says hangover, right? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see exactly, but the beautiful writing said hangover. So I go about my day, and I did bring my friends along with me.
I noticed those. I was going to ask, what are those 2 things? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my friends. I got everybody to sign the back because they couldn't be in LA with me. So I got everybody to sign the back, and then this way they came with me. They had fun.
Oh, look at that. Look how cute your co-hosts look in 2D form.
Right. Yeah. And somebody signed right here on the back. So when I put her picture up to the light, it looks like she's got like red scars. I'm like, she doesn't look this evil. It's just the writing on the back.
Evil sexy, come on.
I know. I wasn't going to say that, but so we went through this dispensary and we're going through, and even Ganix is like, oh, Papa, you should get her that hangover one for tomorrow. Let her have a comfortable plane ride home. So then I get a girl and she's talking to me and she's telling me about all the products, and we're just doing a walkthrough. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to get that hangover one over there. And she's like, oh, okay. And we're looking for it. She goes, oh, that one? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you don't want that one. That's a suppository. And I'm like, no, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. But I was looking forward to it the whole time because I was like, yes, I'm going to buy this, whatever it is for a hangover for the morning. Yeah, no, I did not buy it. But Bunny, we're on the live, and Bunny doesn't talk that often, but when she does, she always gives a little zinger, and she's like, well, nothing else works, stick it up the butt. Like, oh my God. But I didn't hear that
good life advice.
But until I watched the live back, because I couldn't hear what was going on. Papa was holding the camera and I was just shopping and he was just following me around, right?
Make it a triple.
Papa, you behave. Oh my goodness. That was funny. So that happened on the live, that little moment. I'm like, no, I don't want the suppository.
I've sold many of those. I worked in dispensaries for years, and I sold the Fortia sexual lubricant, and I've sold the suppositories, and a lot of girls use them for like period pain. Funnily enough, they at least I've heard they had good reviews.
Well, I'm thinking it's probably the wrong end, but that's okay.
No, Denver's not highly educated. CU's in Boulder. Don't worry about it.
No, I've heard the same thing. I've heard the exact same thing. And I have no diss to anybody that needs to take the suppository. I just was not prepared to buy one live on Instagram with all my followers watching.
In fact, I want to know, have you taken this spot? Have you put weed in your butt? Leave a comment. Let us know below. Let's know about your bottom below.
Thumbs up if you've taken weed up the butt.
And thumbs down if you're a pussy.
Oh boy.
I'm so jealous. So tell me more about it. So just like everyone in chat who wasn't there and knows nothing about it, what was it like? Was there an award ceremony? Like, how did the voting go?
It was
like,
the growers.
And you set this.
Yeah, the growers gauntlet. Cannabis Luke, he won the growers gauntlet, and he is such a fabulous, fabulous grower. And I actually got him to sign my Mr. Grow It book because one of his pictures is in there. And so I got Mr. Grow It and Cannabis Luke to sign it. So there you go.
So I didn't know it. I met him. I was in line at the Comedy Store feeling sick, and he's like, "Oh, I won last year. Did he win this year or last year?"
This year. It was first one.
So congratulations. So then I did meet. Congratulations, Cannabis Luke. Because I was gonna say I met the guy that won last year, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know. I never know anyone's screen name." I was like, "Hi, I'm Dave."
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, Dave. Yeah.
All
right.
No, I know. No, he won this year. So it was the big award ceremony, and AC Infinity and the Stash, they put it on. Rob, he did his thing, and Sydney, they helped put this all together, and it was absolutely fabulous. Everybody was so warm and welcoming. I mean, here I am. Who am I? Right? I'm just like fangirl with my heads on a stick, like walking around.
That's everybody though. Come on. I always will say that anytime anyone like thinks I'm somebody, I would go, I'm just like a guy. I don't know. I do stuff.
Well, I actually in LA, actually, I got my first stalker in a car that noticed me on the street. Yeah.
Okay.
And
stalker.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. He was a good stalker. I like him. It was Visro. Right. He's often in the chat. So yes, it was okay. Pigeons gave me shit afterwards when I told him. So he's like, "You're not going to do that again, are you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. You're right."
Shout out to Sydney. We shared a picture of her smoking 2 joints on the show. Goodness. And so just anybody that wonders, like, is AC Infinity like a weed company? Oh, they're a weed company.
Oh, yeah. Sydney, at the end of the night, her eyes were as squinty as my eyes. And we're both like trying to raise our eyes. And it was just our eyebrows that were going up. Oh, it was funny. Neither one of us, but I'm like, "Can you see?" She's like, "Yeah, I think so." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I can see too." Okay, we're okay.
That's hilarious. So what was the voting like? I heard it was online. Is that like, did they get to sample any cannabis there, or was it just like?
No, there was no sampling because it was open to the US and Canada. So there couldn't be any cross-border stuff officially, right? So, so I'm not sure about how the judging was. I was actually supposed to be a I entered the competition. And then my seeds, I don't know what happened. Something happened and they didn't want to grow that hard. I don't know. It was really, the weather was not good. So I don't think they were, and of course they're coming from overseas, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with the seeds, but I think that when it all happened, it was really cold and they just weren't ready. So I ended up getting another pack of seeds and popping those. But by this time when I got the replacement, everybody was so much further ahead than me and like starting to, and I'm like, I'm going into bloom with like this, right? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna walk away and just pretend this didn't happen. It was sad. I wanted to be a part of the competition. So it was really nice to be able to still be invited to the party anyway. It was lovely.
They have one of my nerditries that I love is speed running of video games, people playing video games, the best that people can do. And so there's this marathon that they do, awesome games done quick. And so there's always this thing where they call it marathon luck. The minute that like the thing is coming up, all sorts of like problems that never pop up just start popping up everywhere. So this was your marathon luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too. I fly all the way. That's my marathon luck. I dropped sick literally the day before.
Yeah.
And I know.
Well, when we arrived, oh my goodness, everybody was out on hanging outside. The venue wasn't open yet, so we were all hanging outside, and it was pretty sketch part of town. So we drive, and even the Uber driver was just like, "This you?" Like he's kind of questioning, like, should we be dropping you off here? And then, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I started to recognize face after face after face. And I'm like, yep, those are my people. Those are my people. Those are our skids. We're okay. We're good. So he's okay. He lets us out. Ran into Chubbs from 420 Fast Buds and Inna Vibes. They were like the first two that I ran into. So that was lovely. I was greeted warmly right away, and I saw 420 things. So I ran over to him and he's like, don't touch me, I'm hot, because it was so hot there.
It was legitimately like 118. We all had gathered there, the hottest week in like California in like forever.
Yeah,
hilarious.
It was super hot, and the sun had just gone down behind the building, so we were like, oh, finally, you're not in that direct sun, because we were all standing outside. And then all of a sudden, Rob comes out and Dusa comes out. Matt, I Can THC comes out. Then Pigeons comes out. No, Pigeon stayed inside. I don't think he came out. I can't remember. Mr. Bro was there. All of a sudden, everybody was there. And I'm like, my mind, like, I didn't know. I didn't know where to like look. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I see Scotty and the dude walking up, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? What is happening right now? Like my brain was literally exploding. and then I'm like a hot melty mess, because now I'm all flustered, because now I'm meeting everybody all at once, and it was 100,000 degrees outside. So I'm like, I'm trying to be cool, and I've got like a tissue, and I'm like trying to dab myself. Meanwhile, I'm like just doused in sweat.
Yes. No, I totally get it. As a bald man, I just profusely drip in I'm gonna get a sweatband like an 80s star, it's gonna be my look. Yeah, Captain Obvious. 118. It was so ridiculous. And then I don't know what it's like where you're from, but like in Colorado, it's a very like mountainous kind of desert sort of feel. And so the temperature, no matter how hot it is during the day, the temperature will fall 15 degrees minimum every single night. So for me, I couldn't get at night. It's like, dude, it's still 100 degrees it's like an oven out at midnight. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal. The first night we went there, we went to headband.
bald bros, brother. Bald bros.
We went to this beautiful restaurant that was in the top of our hotel, and they're like, "Oh, do you mind if you have to sit outside?" And we're like, normally we wouldn't we would say, no, we'll wait for a table inside. We're like, no, it's a nice night. Let's go outside. I'm so glad we did. It was beautiful. They had these beautiful fans going through, and then the night breeze, and we're on the rooftop. So it's nice and cool up there. And it was lovely. I was like, oh yeah, we chose well. This is good. This is good.
Was this your first time to California, or are you regular down in the parts?
Second time. First time was Disneyland. We did the whole Disneyland thing and Universal Studios and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So this was our first time just being in downtown LA, just to hang out.
The hills are legit, right? Like, this is my first time to LA as well. And driving through the Hollywood Hills, I was like, oh, this is why people want to live here. It's amazingly cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's beautiful.
Curves everywhere. Like, here's my impression of me in the car. Just like, like Brett, dude drives like a maniac. Just so everyone knows. Full disclosure. I mean, the BMX X Games freaking pot smoking growing maniac. Oh, he drives crazy. Yeah. He does backflips on his little doohickey bike and has me. It was crazy. So I'm sick. I'm in the back seat with Little Real, Scott's daughter. I'm sure you got to meet Little Real.
My goodness. I just got to quickly say hi to her, but in our footage afterwards, there was one point where somebody had asked Papa for a cigarette, and he handed him a cigarette, and he goes, "Oh, Canadian?" And Little Real walks by and goes, "Canadian," and keeps walking. Oh my goodness. Like, it's going to be a short. I'm going to be making a short out of it. But yeah, it was, I didn't know that until afterwards, because he was just like, handing the guy his smoke. He didn't even realize.
That's the thing. All the Dude Grows family, we're half Canadian, like that's like our thing, like literally me and Brett were walking down the street, and this like Jamaican guy was trying to sell reggae to him, and he's just like, oh man, I'm Canadian, I got no American money. He's like, we national. And so Brett legitimately takes out his wallet, and I look, it's like, you have no dollars, you have nothing but like loonies and toonies. What the hell? Yeah. And Scott never put it together. Like, I'm still curious about this. Which came first? Was the money called the Looney and Toonie, or did the Looney Tunes cartoon exist first?
Oh, Looney Tunes cartoon for sure. I think it was like the early 90s when we got the first Looney. It started with the Looney, the $1, and then it progressed to the Toonie, which is the $2. But then Canada went and did maybe it's just BC. I don't know if it's all of Canada, but I know for sure in BC we did away with the penny. We don't have pennies in circulation anymore.
Respect. I had a bit, like not a bit, like you rewrite billions of jokes and then they die in the open mic stage. And one of the jokes was like, it's like, you know how much Bitcoin a penny's worth? Statistically zero.
Yeah.
It's like, get rid of it. It's worthless.
Yeah. Yeah. They've done that. So everything, if you pay by card, right? Credit card, debit card, any check, anything like that, then the penny counts. But there's no penny in real life. So they either round up or round down.
Wow. That's so fast. I love Canada. One of the fascinating things about my whole life is that like Canadians flow through. Like I told you, I drove a Zamboni in an ice rink for like 10 years. Like, 5 hours, 6, 8, 10 hours south of Canada. So it was, it's always been part of my existence. So I love I can't even get into it. All my favorite stuff is Canadian, including the Home Grow the Community podcast, which I love.
Thank you. Yes. Every Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, we are live. And on Wednesdays, we do spotlight interviews. We've had Mr. Grambo for that interview. And also on Fridays, we do Grow Me Gardens. And it's the community's night to show off their gardens and let the community see what the platforms won't show everybody.
It's a game show.
That is
and we have a game show next week. We have a game show next week. So it's going to be really fun. Really fun.
What is the game? What is the game show? Is there?
It's Highly Squares.
Is there
and Papa knows. No, we announced it already on Friday. We actually did a test run. I don't know. We were all stoned by that point, so I don't know if anybody quite grasped it, but we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of. I ran it's still running without me now. Denver's #1 comedy game show, Punchline Jeopardy, every like a week or something. I don't know. I had to leave. I couldn't. I start things, I build things, and then I get too busy, and I here you run it. I've done that like 4 times with shows. Like I still get messages like, Grambo, I heard you're the host of this thing. I was like, I do, no, I don't.
Well, we'll have to have you on as a guest host then, maybe, or a contestant. Ooh, we had a draw for our contestants. So we got two Gromies from the chat coming on, and then we're gonna have a panel. I'm not sure how it's all gonna work. Papa's got it all figured out. He's asking, do you want to be a panel? He's right here, sitting in my ear.
I do. I do. I am always around. As Cannabis Ryan said, I want to see Grambo on Kill Tony. I went to Kill Tony. Do you know what Kill Tony is, Mama Kush? Are you familiar with this? So it's like probably the most popular stand-up comedy thing in the world right now. It's so people go up and they do 1 minute. You get pulled out of a bucket, you do 1 minute, and then they like talk to you for 15 minutes about stuff. And it's really big. And so I worked on my 1 minute for like 6 months. I'd go up and I'd do my 5 or 10 minute set. I'd open with my Kill Tony minute. I'd do my 1 minute. And then at the 2 minute mark, I'd start my act. So it's impossible to get into. I was actually, Rue from the all the community. He's down in Austin. And so literally I told him like this weekend,
I was supposed to be everybody give him a follow. Sorry.
Right now I was supposed to be in Austin. I was going to go down there. I was going to go straight from wherever the hell I was to then, because I was at the Emerald Cup, and then I was out of town with the old Kansas cutie girl. Then I was in Los Angeles the next week. Then I'm going to go to Austin. I got back on Monday, and I was like, dude, Austin is off. There's no way. So I was going to go down and do comedy, go into the Comedy Store, reignited my to go to Mecca and watch the pros do it. I was just like, to see, it's so fun when you get really good at stand-up. Not that I was really good at it, but as I got pretty good at it, it's the funnest thing on earth. You're just a big jackass making everyone laugh. It's so fun.
See, I could do that from the comfort of my living room. I'd be a jackass and make people laugh.
That's what Scott always says. Grambo, that's what you do for a living every week. And I go, I know, but that's hot dogging. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna. You're married. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I got my security right here. Don't worry.
Good.
So I must say, actually, in California, when I met everybody, of course, they're all larger than life. All of them, every single person that I met is all larger than life. But I felt so tiny when I stood next to like Mr. Grow It and Northern Scrogger, and then I've got 6'5" over here. He's leering behind me with the camera, and like I just felt so little. I was like, oh boy, I knew they were tall, but when you see somebody in real life, you're like, oh wow, yeah, you are tall. Like, I don't know. I was fangirling the whole time. I'm so glad that he was following me around with the camera because I don't remember half of it. It was just a blur, just an absolute blur. Like everywhere I went, I'm like, oh, look, there's Pigeons. And, Pigeons is my guy. Like he was the #1 creator that I followed. And then I started following everybody else. And I saw him and I was like, oh, and we were doing a live and I'm like, and I went over and I tapped him on the shoulder and then I chickened out and I ran away. And I'm like, oh my God. And then like untrained astronauts there. So I went and hung out with him. And then Pigeons turned around and he recognized me. I was like literally shaking. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was like fighting back the tears. Like I fangirled so hard.
Hell yeah. That's awesome though. Like it's always important to remember. Like it was cool for me to see like Matt, I Can't THC. He's like a friend of mine. He lives like 10 minutes down the street.
Such a cool dude.
So I often forget when I get to see him in LA. I go, oh, look at you, playa, like all dolled up on like
he had his grill on and everything. He was Yeah.
No, he
and
inspires me. I always say it's like, I'm like, should I wear these like goofy sunglasses? And I think, what would Matt do? Oh, Matt wear the fucking glasses.
Matt would wear them. Matt would wear them.
Would Matt fucking go red glasses mid podcast? You know, goddamn well he would, baby.
Oh,
You know,
snap.
goddamn well he would. $15 on Venice Beach. This lady seemed like desperate for like a sale, and I was like, all right, how much for the? I always Rick Rubin from
Oh.
Producer Music fame. He always wears red glasses. So I was like, in honor of Rick Rubin, I'm gonna buy you a sandwich, lady. You seem hungry. What up?
Oh boy. Well, I see Lloyd in the chat here. He's like, I want to meet Grambo, Banner, and Scotty. I did get to meet Banner and Scotty, but I didn't get to meet Grambo.
Did you get to chat with Banner? I was very curious knowing Banner like personally. Like, how's Banner at this like hip gala of like stoner? Like, is he gonna be like super like nerding out, or is he gonna be very reserved and quiet? What was Banner like?
I feel he didn't quite know how to take me because I ran up like I did my thing, right? And he was just like, oh, hi. And then dude's like, it's okay.
Now, dude is like, no one's cooler than the dude. Literally every time I'm hanging out with that guy, it's like, I wish I had half the charisma of this guy. Everyone thinks that I'm all cool and smooth. The dude is cool. So get out of here.
Oh, I sat and chatted with him for a little while. See, the main party was hanging out because it was so hot. The main party, well, I say the main party, where I stood and other people joined was at the fan because it was so hot. And so everybody would just stand around the fan and everybody passing a joint around the circle and just chit-chatting for a few moments. And I got to hang out and chat with him for a few minutes. And it was just, I was like, oh, this is amazing. And we're just talking about plastic and when to be offended when plastic, because I had a little jar that my weed came in and the lid looked like it was bamboo. Like it looked like it was a bamboo lid. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. And then he's like, oh, it's plastic. I'm like, I know. They got me too. Like, I didn't realize it until it was out the door. And he's just like, so then we had this whole like, okay, well, yeah, it still looks cool. But like, when do we get mad that it's plastic? And, this whole, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That is the most like, this is why you notice I didn't ask you what other people's conversations were like. I usually know. He's a specific bear, so I knew. Let me dig in. I bet there's a funny answer. That is so what I would think. You go, plastic. Like, he's a big like he watches Seinfeld, and he's also like a Seinfeld character. As he walks through life, I go like, my name is he literally just like, like you could see that in Seinfeld. Like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, plastic. Oh,
okay. Well, he signed the back of this for me. He was lovely enough.
Who else signed that? Hold that up. Let's get a load of this. Who's out there? Who's the John Hancock of this? Did Brett just sign it, dude?
Yeah, he did. He sure did. Man. Well, you know what the funny thing is? Nobody's ever worked on their signature before. Like, I think it was only Mr. Growit that's worked on his signature. And then, of course, Sydney, she's got the most beautiful handwriting ever.
That's amateur hour. See, I got a little blank slate there. I'm telling you, I've been working on mine for the better part. So my JG, it's like a butterfly.
Oh, I like it.
Looking thing, and so I got a celebrity signature. JG, baby.
Well, yeah, I mean, who has a signature? Why would we have a signature, right? Like,
Scott always will tease me when we're out. Like, he has this thing, because when you're a comedian, like, you need to not be famous, but you need to be able to sell tickets. I need 400 people in every city in America to like be a fan in order to like have that be a viable career. And so always tease me like, well, I got sick. He's like, what if you were famous? They'd all be looking, Grambo. And I was like, baby, I've been practicing my signature since I was 12. Like, I've been like I've been
I
on this
love
trajectory.
Scotty's words of wisdom. He always has these. Actually, it was funny at the party. I was talking because at the end of the night, I'm just offloading all of my joints. Like I need one or two, one for before bed, one for after, in the morning, and then I'm hitting the plane and we're gone. Right. So I'm offloading all these joints, and I'm explaining to him why. And I'm like, oh, I can't take his across the border. He's like, sure you can, in his Scotty voice. And I'm like, oh my God, did you just say that to me? Oh my God.
Well, that was his brother Trip, I assume.
Yeah, Trip came out from the bathroom. Trip came out from the bathroom. Give me a little no.
He's great with that. He's like, my brother Trip is wanted for attempted murder in 7 states. Oh, no big deal. I'm Scotty Reed. That's not how he talks. That's the worst. You know what I love about like being associated with Scott is everyone has their Scotty impression. They don't do their Scotty impression to me. It's just it brings them like anytime you say word, you get a little gravelly, He's like the Alex Jones of weed. Like, goddamn, indica sativa, blot.
I can't do that. I would start coughing if I tried to do that.
No, man. See, you understand that when you're hanging out with sativas, you got to grow your own. You know what I'm saying? When you're out there, people, grow your own. America 2024. Everyone has a good Scotty. I love it. So what else? What else was cool about it? So the Gauntlet was a competition. It was international. I actually didn't know that they were taking submissions from across the way. What was your favorite like cannabis experience there? Obviously everyone was smoking smuggled weed or dispensary weed. Was there anything that stood out to you?
There was a lot of homegrown, actually. There was a lot of homegrown that was going around. And oh boy, untrained astronaut. Papa and I don't share joints just because the whole sickness thing, but I'll give you a joint, you give me a joint, right?
Do you have like twin beds that you sleep in, like Dukes of Hazzard or something?
Like Dukes of Hazzard? What?
I don't know.
What are you smoking, sir?
I'm smoking some fine upside down frown.
Like Dukes of Hazzard.
I don't know.
No, we just don't share joints. We've got there's health issues in the house that we don't want to bring in.
As it normalizes, I always equate like, hey man, can I have a drink of your beer? It's like, no, go get your own beer. Why would you want half my beer? That's crazy. So as cannabis normalizes, I think, unfortunately, I love sharing, but I think we're maturing past sharing.
But I do share. I'll give you a joint. You can have your own joint.
Exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
You have one and I'll have one. We'll have a joint together. I'll smoke
Scott
all of
that's
mine.
What outed him.
2 weeks.
Him and Brett were at a party in Florida when it was very, very illegal. And Scott was just like, he'd take 2 puffs of a big joint and just pass it out and light another one. And Brett was like, only growers smoke like that. Only growers give out joints. And he's like, I gotta go talk to that guy. So that's like the ultimate grower giveaway is liberal with joints.
Oh my goodness. I went to a concert. I went to a Chris Webby concert with my daughter last year. And we were up at the front of the stage, and it was her concert. I was just the tag along. So we were at the front of the stage, but the security guy was like right there. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to make sure that we're protected because my daughter is little, like she's 5'1". I'm little, but she's little. And so I'm like, and we don't have 6'5" with us. So we got to make sure that we're protected. So I look over at the security guy and I'm like, whoop, you want to join? And he's like, of course you can't hear anything. Right. And he goes, for me? And I'm like, for you. And he's like, yes. And then I pass him a joint. So he tucks it behind his ear. Well, I later find out his girlfriend is like 2 people down from me. So he was kind of already watching what was going on at the front of the stage because his girlfriend showed up in a butterfly necklace, essentially, that kind of just came to part here and then wrapped around the back. There wasn't much else. It was a necklace, essentially.
Oh, like a necklace, like the dress essentially was a necklace.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So he was watching the front stage.
Girls are gonna girl.
Yeah. he was watching the front stage, quite nicely. But I actually handed Chris Webby a joint, and he looked at it and said thanks and handed it back to me. I'm like, what? Rude. So then I handed that same joint to my daughter, who's, same age as me, because, I'm going in reverse now. So we're at the same age now. So I put her to the front, and I'm like, you hand it to him. And he took it from her. So he still got my joint. I just used her.
That was the thing that, one of the things with this girl that I'm now seeing that, like, I told her, I was like, sorry, I didn't talk to you more. I was being very professional. She's like, oh, I noticed. Like, it conspicuously, like, look at this, very professional,
Yes.
like, so, yeah, not being a creep. That's important these days.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you because you need somebody to keep you grounded. Because if not, you're going to go, wah! I know, I can tell. I know your kind.
her red flag was like, she's like, I don't know, you got a couple red flags. I was like, like what? And she's like, I don't know, you're probably a hoe. I was like, I'm a hoe? How dare you, madam? I swore off the hose. But I was like, yeah, that's a good assessment. That's like my whole thing,
Yeah, I mean, but, if she can take a joke, right? You have to be able to take a joke when you're, no matter who you are, but especially if you're going to be with the Grambo, you got to be able to take a joke.
Well, the thing that what you would have probably experienced from meeting me is that I'm actually way more reserved than, like, anytime I'm on camera. I'm fucking explosive and crazy. You give me a microphone, I'll go crazy. I'll say all sorts of fucked up shit, everything's crazy. But then when I'm, like, in person, I'm usually pretty high, I'm like, I'm always just like, hey, how you doing? Everything's good. I mean, with you guys, I would have been super stoked to see. You could have gave me the adrenaline, like, look at you.
Oh my goodness. I guarantee you and I would have started a dance party. In a Vibes and I tried, and nobody else joined in, but I guarantee if you were there, we would have started a dance party.
I'm going to start dancing. I'm for real going to take, like, salsa lessons.
Oh, like lessons? Oh, cool.
Like, I started jujitsu here, like, whatever, 6 months ago. And so the next thing, I keep checking the boxes off, like, what are the things that are outside my character that, like, I want to do? And, like, I literally been telling everyone, it's like 2025, I'm here to fuck, fight, and dance.
Nice. Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's my mom. I love that you love it. Thank you.
That is like so footloose right there. You just that was like the movie right there.
When you're a jet all the way. From your first fucking joint to your last dying day. They make me quote West Side Story up in here. Come on.
Well, I used to actually take Taekwondo. And I got up to blue belt. So I was pretty close to I got up there. I made a commitment. No, it was green. I don't know. I think it was green, red, and then black. So I think I was green, like third stripe green. I don't know. I was close. I was 2 belts away. 2 belts away.
Nice.
And I took it with my family, and my son and I, we went hardcore. Everybody else like, oh, this is kind of, yay, we got to do push-ups and now we're going to kick. But my son and I, we actually went and did like demonstrations and stuff. And we did like, just at schools, like with school fair or something like that. They have like little things coming in, and we did all of that. So that was a lot of fun. So there's a fun fact about Mama. Oh, and I once did a flying high kick over 4 children and broke a board. Yep.
I was saying my brain works really fast, and like the beat of over 4 children and broke up, and I was like, what happened? What? Board. Oh my god! I broke
2 of those children were mine, so I don't dare fall on them.
Girl's braids in half. The kid is dead. She's dying. I knocked him out. I got my black belt right then and there.
Well, the teacher was so mean. Put the kids biggest to smallest. So if I fell, I was going to fall on the smallest child there, which was mine.
You got to have motivation. Crouching tiger, hidden mama.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it now, but yeah, I did. That is a fun fact about Mama. There you go.
Yeah, I get too hyped up on it. Like I'll be sitting there telling people about like, oh, dude, like you want to get someone in a rear naked. It's all about you gotta get the pop. You know,
Oh,
I did it in
yeah.
front of Scott. He took jujitsu back in the day. He's like, oh, you got it. The thing. You're doing the thing. I was like, oh, I got the thing, baby. Squeeze those elbows together. Good night.
Did you watch
see,
the UFC fight last night?
I didn't. What
Oh
happened?
my goodness. I don't know the names of the two guys that were fighting, but it was like the most incredible fight I have ever seen in my life. I think it was green shorts and red shorts. I don't know. I don't remember.
Green shorts. Oh, green shorts versus red shorts. Oh, that's sucking. Oh,
it was
crazy.
Oh, it was an incredible fight. It was like, I'm like, how is he not dropping? And then, watch out. That's a pink.
A pink AK.
Oh, a pink. Oh, I do have a pink. No, I did use a pink AK. Yes. I went for my birthday.
Right.
My birthday's close to Halloween. And so for my birthday, there's always like fun things to go do. And one of these fun things to do one time was to go to a shooting range and to shoot pumpkins. So you line up these pumpkins and you get to blow the shit out of these pumpkins. And it's an indoor shooting range, right? And you got a trainer right there. Awesome. And it was like, it was all beginners. Like they were trying to get people to come in, right? And then they had zombies. You can pick zombies or pumpkins, right? Like there was things that you could shoot at. And so we did this for my birthday. I thought, hey, this will be fun. So a couple of couples, we all went and went to the shooting range, and I was doing really well. That pink AK was I love that. Oh, that was a fun little tick, 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 tick. Oh, that was a fun one. Oh, that was a good one. But I had this one and I can't remember what it was, but the bullet, when I shot it, the casing came back and it hit me right here and burnt a circle right here on my neck. And I'm like, like this, and all of a sudden the trainer comes over and like smacks my hand and puts my hand down because I still have a loaded gun in my hand as it's burning me, and it slipped down my shirt and stuck in my bra. So now I have this burning bullet casing, and I'm like, so I put and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. All of a sudden I'm flipping out, right? Like, so he puts my hand down on the gun, and I open up my shirt, and this casing comes out, and I look, and I'm like all burnt right in here. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, he's like, okay, it happens. It happens. And I'm like, no, this doesn't happen. This only happens with Mama.
Oh my God.
So I got a couple more shots because I was getting good at this point, right? Like I was hitting the target, like I was getting comfortable. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then that happened. And I tried shooting a couple more times after that. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like I chickened right out. Like my anxiety got to me because every time I'm like jumpy now, thinking that this hot, like burning ember is going to get stuck down my bra. Right. So I back off. Right. And I'm like, okay, just you guys have fun. I'm good. So Papa goes and gets the, what was it? An eagle something. Desert Eagle. And,
yeah.
Yes. So he gets to rent this for the afternoon.
Which is a beast. It is a beast.
Yes, it is a beast. So he goes up, him and the husbands went and did this. The wives stayed back, and
the husbands. They're a crazy bunch, the husbands.
Yeah, they are. But they went off and they shot this thing. And really, like the reverb that went off when the gun went off was incredible. And I was standing on the other side of the room, like my whole chest, like, like, you know, when you're at a concert and you're standing right next to the speaker and then the bass goes and you just feel your whole body going. That's exactly what it was, but like in a bang. And that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I need a drink. We need to leave. We need to go eat. And we need to go to the bar now. Let's go. The party's over.
It's crazy. Yeah, when you are first getting associated with new firearms, it's a whole thing. I remember my buddy was an Iraq vet and we like was all into like firearms training and everything. So I went like from being like horrified by guns, like just the sight of a gun, I was like, oh my fucking God, to like
Yeah.
being able to dismantle guns and like, oh yeah, that's the upper receiver. You got to keep that clean.
Well, I was doing okay. I had gone through about 3 or 4 different types of guns at this point because that was part of the program. You get to pick your guns, right? And I'm like, I like that pink one, and I like that one, and I like that one. And
That's
so I got
so
to pick
funny.
all of them, and they set you up, and the trainer's right there. He's right beside you, teaching you everything. Like they don't leave you alone at all, and you got the headphones on and everything else. So it's very safe. So I was doing really well up until that point, and once that thing shot back, because one had shot at me before, like the previous time, and it kind of whizzed past my ear and I kind of felt something warm, but I didn't know. I just whatever. And then the second time it hit me and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. And if I'm ever going to fire again, I'm wearing a turtleneck up to here.
Did they say did it just jam in a weird way or like?
Yeah, it's just the way it's just the way it came out of it would normally go to the right, but this time it kind of went a little to the left, and then that's when it got me.
Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, pew pew.
Chat,
right,
look at that. Chat bringing the freaking the fire. That I believe that was a Grandpa Grows dropped that one. So isn't it crazy? People like will know about your life when you meet them. They're like, oh, I remember when you said this. It's like, I did say that. You watched? Oh my God, I didn't know. Like I see all these names. You people could be AI for all I know, you know. But when I meet people in real life, it's like, whoa, what up? It's crazy. You exist. Hello.
Well, that's what I felt like when I met everybody at the party, because I feel like I know them. They don't know me. I'm some crazy lady walking around with heads on a stick, right? So, luckily most of them had seen my face previously, so they knew.
Wow.
But really, if you didn't know.
Sitting from afar, people know you more than you think they do, Mama Kush. You're a player in the game, and I only have the coolest kids on my show, and you've been on twice and a half.
Yes, twice and a half now. Yes,
I give you a half because Mr. Gannix is on, Sea Bunny was on, and now you're a double dose. So I'm a big supporter of home grow the community, and I usually I
couldn't be here without my crew. Like that's why I took them to LA with me, right? My crew had to come to LA and come and join the fun. Oh my goodness, they were on the plane. I tucked them into seatbelts, and I have to tell you, they did not know I was doing this until I was there. And I literally held up, I was in the airport and I had my good buddy Gannix here, and we had a beer together. We had a beer at the airport together. And that's when they found out that I had made these things. And then so we made an adventure, and everybody at the party was so cool. They were giving them joints. They were fist bumping them. They were like, hey, Gannix, hey, buddy, glad you were here. Oh my goodness. It was fun. It was just good fun.
Damn. See, that's why I got to get me a Grambo cardboard cutout. That would have been dope.
Right. Oh yeah. And then we all could have signed that. And then I would have been not the only fangirl there.
Yeah. But you know what? The one good, like, I remember I was so bummed out, but for the first time, like I was staying in a house with the entire Dude Grow show. Hi C, Banner, Mike, just Mike. Everybody was there. And when everybody left and I was just sitting there alone, I was like, oh boy, I kind of needed this. Holy shit. I was hanging out with Scotty Reel 24 hours a day for the last we were going. So literally Brett made the schedule. Dude was our he's the comptroller, so he made our schedule. Day one, the first thing on the list was 8 a.m. leave the house. And I was like, Brett, right off the bat, I don't even have to read the rest of the list. I hate it already. I hate it. And I wasn't sick yet, but he killed it. We went to the Rainbow Room the night we got in. It's like where Slash and GNR, Motley Crue, all of the legends all were formed there. And so I had to take a piss in the place where all the rock stars pissed. We smoked joints, it was a pretty epic the first 2 nights, and so I was pretty bummed out that I didn't get to see you guys. So I'm glad I got to see you tonight, Mama Kush.
Well, thank you so much for dude, and I know you had part of it too for giving Papa and I a nice shout out at the end of the Saturday show that or in the middle of this whenever it was.
Yes.
I don't know time. There's no math, but it was wonderful.
Was
I'm like, oh my god, really? Oh!
Specifically, dude, we had a little snafu, and there was problems, and so we had to record that show twice.
Oh,
and so
shoot!
When we went through, we had done this elaborate like show for the whole fucking thing, and then when we had to re-record it, we had I had to go through and like look through the old show to make sure that we didn't forget anybody. And I hope we got everybody. So because I remember we got you specifically, Mama and Papa Kush, but hopefully we got everyone. Like Untrained Aster now. What's up, buddy?
Oh,
Specifically, you were the guy I was thinking. Like, I hope we got everybody. It was so cool. Thank you. Him and Chubbs and a whole bunch of other people came and hung out at our little DGC hangout thing.
So, oh my goodness. Oh boy. Trained had the best camera setup of anybody there. Of course. I mean, he's trained, right? Oh, yeah. I call him trained, by the way, because if you ever see his garden, he's not untrained. He is trained. So that's why I call him trained. Everybody else calls him Astro, but I call him trained.
Yeah, I love
we were hung out. He got to show me his
1-star review.
he was showing me his camera setup and like how it's all like on this gimbal thing. Then he made this contraption. I was like, oh my goodness, my brain is being blown right now. And he's like, here, watch this. Takes it off, and he gets some like low shots, like a real like I felt like he was like in Hollywood, being a Hollywood producer, cameraman guy, right? Like it was amazing. I can't wait until he does like the full blown show. Oh my goodness.
Thing, man. All it takes is just starting, and then one day people recognize that you're doing it. Conan O'Brien had the best saying about it. He's like, everyone's trying to be loud. Who can be the loudest? Like they're all playing their instruments as loud as they can. What you want to be is a quiet little triangle, just ding, 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 ding. And after years and years and years, someone important goes, what the fuck is that dinging I keep hearing about? Why do I keep hearing about you? Just get in here. I'm sick of the dinging. You just want to be the guy. I keep hearing about you. Why? Like Dude Grows was like my third cannabis in Denver. I hosted Colorado's first ever open cannabis comedy show. Like this has been like my life the whole time. And so it was, shout out to you, Vibe. I definitely Cannabis Vibes out there. If you guys need music, he made my theme song. He did the Jug Dealers theme song. So if you guys need, he fair ass deal. The man charges a fair price and he makes cool music. So thank you. Nice.
Vibe. It's good to know the real ones, because there's so many fakes and scammers out there. So it's good to know that somebody is actually used them and they're like part of the community. So I mean, this is why we do Home Grow the Community, is to get this information out there. Little nuggets like that might drop on the show on a Friday night, and you never know, right? Like there's so many shitty people out there, and we are just trying to make a cool, happy, vibey place where we just want to look at plants and be happy and have a laugh, right? Poor Organicorn, Mr. Organics, he really took one for the team on Friday night. We did our big 1,500 giveaway. We finally reached 1,500 subs, so we were like super jazzed. We did this big giveaway,
and I noticed that it took you way longer to get to 1,000 than it did from 1,000 to 15. You guys are going fast.
Yep, it did, and now we're starting to get a little bit more momentum up the way. But we called out the Organicorn, and he did it. So he put on the mask. He took a hoot. Oh my goodness, the Organicorn, he has risen. The Organicorn.
Shout out, Anthony. We love the Organicorn.
Yeah,
we all love the Organicorn.
Almost. Oh, that was amazing. That was so
if you hear my voice, go over to Home Grow the Community and subscribe to those guys. Get on that 2,000 bandwagon. I know I was number like 10,000. I was like almost 1080. I used to love the video game 1080. So I think I was like number 1080 or so. So I'm in there.
Nice. Yeah. And like we've been doing this. We did this for a couple of years over on Instagram, and then we just recently made the switch over to YouTube, and then we included Papa Kush into the crew. And so Papa Kush is our producer, and he has one hell of a sense of humor, and he likes to embarrass his wife frequently.
I love Papa Kush because it takes a strong personality to convey your personality off camera.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He doesn't speak or like is visualized in any manner, but after watching the podcast, you get, I know this guy. So after watching it every week, oh, he's a character. It takes a lot of personality. So that's why I was so bummed. See, I feel like I've met you.
Yes.
I for sure have never met Papa. So I'm bummed I didn't get to meet him. So we're gonna have to
Well,
figure out.
we'll have to do it again.
BC, we're making this happen. I told Scott, I'm going to BC and you're gonna be, I'm recording in studio with Dude, and you're gonna be over freaking the web.
No, you're not gonna be in studio. You're gonna be hanging on my dock. And you're gonna come do a Billy
Oh, the Sasquatch! I saw the Squatch. I saw a Squatch, y'all. I saw him. I seen the Canadian. He's a Canadian.
Settle down over there.
That son of a bitch. See that Squatch?
I realized
I saw the crotch of the Squatch right there.
his new nickname is 6'5". That's his gangster name. 6'5".
Well, I'm going to start as I type it in here. I'm going to go that I saw the crotch of the Squatch.
Crotch of Squatch.
I saw the crotch of the Squatch. I'm telling you, he was 6 foot if he was an inch. I saw he was standing there. I could see the crotch of the Squatch with nothing else.
It was just crotch everywhere, man. I couldn't look anywhere.
What's Mama Kush's husband like? Nothing but crotch. Ain't nothing but crotch, boy. I tell you. You should see his kids dance. You know what I'm saying? His kids dance.
That's crotch.
You get what I'm saying? They can dance. He's all cool.
Well, at least I dressed appropriately this time. I threw your viewers off last time, so I covered the girls up for you.
I encourage that behavior. I take the bullet. I'm the saucy I'm the saucy no man. You shouldn't stop.
You didn't think I knew what I was stepping into.
Oh, you shouldn't be saying that, Grambo. You're so saucy. Shut up, but keep talking.
I love it. So, Grambo, eyes up. Eyes up, Grambo.
That's not fair for me. Like, you are down to look at your eyes.
I know.
I'll do the. Oh, if you love me. All right. Well, for all you guys that don't like, everyone in chat, you already know the Homegrow the community, but for everyone that doesn't, go follow them. They are awesome group of creators, and you yourself can be on there every Friday. They do the Grummies Garden, and you just show up at the campfire and show your garden. That's very unique amongst the cannabis creation crew. So respect to you guys being OG with the roots.
Thank you very much, and we will Papa will get a hold of you for next Friday, and if you'd like to be a panel member on our very first game show night, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you.
I do not believe I have anything going next Friday, so next Friday.
Pencil us in.
So
okay, he's like already on it.
Find me. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mama, for coming on, and I can't wait to see you in real life when I come to Canada.
Yes, we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun, and thank you for the chat. Oh my goodness, I've been trying to keep up to the chat, and it's been hard. You guys you're killing it. Make sure you give everybody a thumbs up and share.
Legit, yes. Yeah. Untrained, Anthony, AA, Justin, bless up. Lloyd, there's so many of you. I can't even. I won't even pretend like I can get through all you guys. Shout out, yes, love to everybody. Hey, Kyle. That's my buddy Kyle. So funnily enough, Tropicana Kyle, everyone knows him as Tropicana Kyle. He's essentially like one of my oldest friends in Colorado. I met him in 2015 when I first started here. We both were doing I'm working on this cannabis podcast, John Doe Radio. He was working for Incredibles Edibles, and then we were just the last two war of attrition. There's this giant crew of like a couple dozen dudes, and now it's just me and Kyle from that crew. Like, oh shit, you're still doing this? Like, still here, baby. So yeah, shout
I
out
love
Kyle.
it.
If
That's
you're listening,
awesome.
Kyle, you are on next week, buddy. That's awesome. So yeah, we have to get you some Tropicana up there in Canada. See how professional this is? This is not available in dispensaries. We'll just say that.
Oh my goodness.
If you get my drift, he's just going for it, and I'm supporting the hell out of it.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
He just goes,
Oh, yes.
let him find me. I don't care. I go, I love you, buddy. I love it. OG. He's the OG of OG right there.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, right on.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm going to watch next week for sure.
Oh. Thanks for looking at my wife's Hooters. I didn't. I did. That's Chat's job. I got a girlfriend, in case you didn't hear, and she thinks I'm the bee's knees.
That's good. She should. She should.
I hope.
That's the way it should
She tells
be.
me she does. They always tell me they do, and then they marry and divorce me.
Oh.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm one of those people that once you get a hold of me, I don't ever leave. Papa, this has been going on for years and years and years. I just never left. He's like, when are you going home?
Yeah, I'd make you leave. I've never had a woman not leave. I take the challenge. You be out in a month.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Bye, everybody.
Happy growing.
We're dropping knowledge on Grambo Bros, talking about plants and how